Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, Software Engineer K here. We've got some amazing updates to go through today. We've got an announcement with regards to how VeVe is steering the company in terms of their marketing and branding, and just what that means for VeVe overall, as opposed to other projects that I have covered previously. We're also going to be going through an update from my friend Taps Trades. Do check out his channel. I will link it below. But he did an interview, Ask Me Anything with Reese, where he asked him some really meaningful questions. I really liked the questions that were asked, and we got some great information as well. So I just wanted to touch on a few of those, giving my thoughts, but obviously I don't want to detract too much from the original video. So I do implore you to check it out as well. I will include the link. And also another video from someone else I know, wannabe champ. He's a friend of mine who taught me how to trade. So I will also touch on one of his cool videos, which he did, which was basically looking at how long it would take to reach 1 million users and also potentially $1 OMI. And I did also want to touch on a little bit about the development life cycle as well, and to wrap up with our daily price analysis. So without further ado, we will get into VeVe's Twitter. So Reese in a previous Reese in the interview that was covered by Taps, he did say that there was an announcement coming very soon. This isn't the main announcement, but this is the announcement with regards to where they're driving their growth and development now in terms of marketing, because now they are officially out of beta. They can start to now push it to the mainstream, VeVe, and they have basically contracted Rogers and Cohen to manage their marketing, PR, all of that stuff for them. And so, who is exactly like, or what is exactly Rogers and Cohen like? What credibility do they have? And I had a look, and I have to say that normally I try not to hype things up too much, but I would say they've chosen a very powerful force in this marketing industry. So, in terms of services they offer, they do branded content marketing, digital marketing, event management. That's quite important as well, because we know that there are going to be VeVe events using geocaching in the future as well. Experimental marketing. So they do loads of different types of marketing. They provide measurements and analytics, and then they go more into the things like social media growth, influencer marketing, public relations, sports entertainment, talent management, representation. They do the whole suite. And for who they've managed this for, and I'm not the most knowledgeable about brands. Oh, and then I spotted this. For those of you who don't know, so in terms of brand communications and all of that stuff, this is from LCS, which is the annual League of Legends tournament, and this grew from a few thousand people to, I think it's about 50 million people watch it now. And just put that in perspective, about 90 something 100 million people watch the Super Bowl every year, which is probably like the most viewed event in the world. So these guys are impressive. And just have a look at some of the brands that they work with. These ones I recognize straight away. YouTube, Heineken, Snapchat, UGG. We have other ones: Hasbro, McDonald's. We did speculate about McDonald's in previous video. Hyundai, Mastercard, LG, like big brands. And then celebrities as well: David Beckham. We've got I think his name was Michael B. Jordan. No, what was his name? The guy who plays Killmonger. I can't remember. What was his name? Killmonger actor. Name is Michael B. Jordan. So we also have Chris Pratt, some other celebrities as well, quite popular ones, Vin Diesel. So they've chosen a very impressive partner to work with them, and I think this is what they're going to need, because if you look back at my track record, I have been correct on the previous projects that I've invested in. Neo was a big one, XRP. But what projects like, say, Neo lacked incredibly is they had the perfect product, but they did no marketing, and they never ever truly took off as fast as they could have, or as much as they could have, because of the lack of awareness. And VeVe, they're hitting the nail on the head every time. Like, they've got a plan, they're executing that plan, and they're going to reap the rewards from that plan. Now, what I also wanted to touch on is, with regards to that, is the interview. So Taps, he did this interview with Reese, And I found it very, very informative. I advise everyone to watch the full thing. It's nearly an hour long, but watch the full thing. Um, and hashtag patience. So the first thing I just wanted to touch upon is exchanges. So we know that OMI currently trades on not very beginner friendly exchanges, and I think that's a huge issue because the fact that it doesn't trade on very beginner friendly exchanges, there are a lot of hoops to kind of jump through for beginners. It's easier to kind of, for them to get scammed because they don't quite know what they're doing, as opposed to, if they just go on, say, Coinbase, it's quite easy to buy, crypto with fiat. So the first thing I just want to show you guys was the bit on exchanges.
App friendly or widely used exchange yet. You mentioned in some other interviews, multiple exchanges are coming, which will help enable more people to easier invest in OMI. Is there an estimated number of exchanges we can expect to be added by the end of the year?
Yeah, I think we've got 3 or 4 lined up for the next couple of months.
All right. 3 to 4 new exchanges in the next 2 months. Now, we can speculate, but what I want to make clear is I try not to speculate or hype up things too much, just because I try to live by this ideology of under promise and over deliver, because the crypto space is filled with tons of people who, unfortunately, they're emotional traders. They can't emotionally detach themselves from their investment. It's a bit like a cult. I found it in a lot of projects, but honestly, I would say with VeVe being a Singaporean company, I think one of the exchanges that they'll probably get listed, and this is my speculation, would be a big top tier Asian exchange such as KuCoin. That would make sense. There has been also, clear relationships with Binance. I believe Binance is coming, and if we have 3 to 4 exchanges, I think Binance would be one of them. Because for those of you who don't know, there are 2 ways to get listed on Binance. One way is to pay money, and we know that Ecomi can just do that. They can just pay money. Like, that's not what's getting in the way. The second way is to get voted in by the public, and I think that's how they're getting in, is through getting voted in, or you know through their relationship with CZ, because clearly, David Yu has known him for a while. We've seen pictures resurfacing of that. So I think that is pretty cool. What I also wanted to touch on that they spoke about is a bit more about the Master Collector program. So this is something that I'm really, really excited about. If we just go to that.
In your collection will earn you points as well. But once we're at that point, it actually lets us pinpoint, you might be the biggest Batman fan or the biggest Batman collector, but you don't collect Toki Toki. So we can reward you with more specific Batman content, maybe like a Batcave showroom, or you have access to things like that. So in general, it helps you level up your collector ranking, but it also gives us the opportunity to reward fans.
Okay, so we know that this was something that has been talked about, speculated. So the Master Collector program, there is going to be some form of staking involved. And Reese did also confirm that you can stake, inside the app or outside the app. And there is going to be some kind of ranking points experience system where you can get rewards for your NFTs. So that can be showrooms, that can be, additional add-ons. I did also want to touch a bit on DeLorean, but I'll touch on that next time just because I don't want to keep this video too long. But I'm pretty excited with that as well. So we do know that the Master Collector program, gamifications, what we're at right now, where we're just trading NFTs, this is kind of like, the very early rudimentary stages. Soon, there'll be so much additional functionality. They spoke a bit about how you can take your NFT to, say, Comic-Con, and then you can have, maybe the artist digitally sign that NFT with you. And I can confirm that that is possible. NFTs, they can have child NFTs. So, we can have a signature that belongs to a parent NFT, like, say, a Batman. So you can have a Batman artist, Risso, sign your Risso Batman, for example. So this stuff is definitely possible. So I think VeVe will utilize that, and that's just going to add a lot more value to your NFTs, especially if they're Series 1 NFTs. So VeVe is, they're pioneering this. They're ahead of the times, and they've been ahead of the times. VeVe's been around for a while before, at the word NFT went mainstream. And what I did also want to touch on, and I think this is very, very important, is the community aspect of it, because there are loads of great people that contribute content to the community, as well as the community itself, which is very, very active. And I think that is partly what's helped VeVe grow. Is they haven't put that much of their own expense into marketing, but it's the community that's marketed for them. So I just wanted to share just a short clip on this as well.
YouTube and Twitter and Telegram and in the VeVe app itself, some are proactively showing support with like Hello K, finding and reporting bugs. And
thanks for the shout out, bro.
And the VeVe Art Show that's coming up next week, like Kyle Wilson, Stonks, and VeVe and all them. What are some other ways, for people and fans to continue to support VeVe and spread awareness, as users?
Yeah, so just before we get to that, huge shout out to you and Kyle and Jake and everybody else that is contributing, Kay. And it's incredible to wake up every day and see new content about us. Sometimes I learn things that I didn't know about the platform.
You're like, wow, we have Marvel already? Oh, wait,
yeah.
Oh, and quick shout out to Muckshack Attack. Do follow him on Twitter for sharing this meme video on the video I did on the Marvel asset files that I found in the APK. So this one's quite funny one. I do want to share this just for laughs. There's another image here. Now that one looks a little bit.
Are you playing those video games again?
So that's quite a funny meme. So do definitely give him a follow on Twitter as well. Okay, guys, and I also did want to touch on one video that was shared by my friend, so Wannabe Champ, so he's the guy who taught me how to trade. This is a really, really nice one. Definitely check out. I'll also link this below. So he kind of went through his analysis on the growth of VeVe, how long it's going to take to reach 1 million users, as well as how long it would take for OMI to reach $1. Now, obviously there are various different factors that we can't account for that are both going to help the burn of OMI as well as restrict it. So you can predict, but there are a lot of unknown factors. But I would say definitely give it a watch, because from how much I know him, I know he's always got quite a lot of logic and reasoning behind everything he says, and he has a very, very good track record, I can tell you that. So definitely do check out his channel. I will link it below as well. And lastly, what I wanted to touch on was just our today's price analysis. So just a quick recap. OMI, I said in the last video and the video before that we will be trading sideways, and my prediction from yesterday was we will probably be going on a bit of a downtrend, because I drew this line the other day showing that we were going on a downtrend, and it looks like we've stopped moving in a downtrend on the hourly chart and started going sideways. But sideways on a slightly lower level. So I think we're not going to see much movement still. I think, if anything, the price of OMI is going to dip more. And I am personally happy with that, because I want to buy a lot more OMI, because now that we know that it's going to be coming to 3 to 4 exchanges in the next couple of months, that's going to add huge amounts of liquidity to it, easier access to it. I see the price of OMI definitely moving up a notch. We should be breaking this previous resistance here. So if we just go to the 4-hourly chart, and yeah, so we can see perfectly it is following this downtrend, this trend line here. I'm just going to extend this. Okay, so what I see happening is maybe tomorrow or the day after, usually on a weekend, I think the price of OMI does dip a bit. I think maybe tomorrow or on Sunday, we're going to come back down to this 0.55 level. Otherwise, we'll just continue trading sideways in this range. So I'm perfectly happy with that as well. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to go through with you guys. As always, please do like and subscribe to support the content, and I'll keep you guys updated with anything else I find out. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.